Alright guys, the raid is on and you have 1 week to do the raid over here. So in the dungeon, the world boss thing, right? The last one over here, you have 1 week to do this. This is the raid. You need these items and also the, what do you call this? Like these things, these ashes or whatever you call it. You need these items to craft the star gears and this one as well, so that with the star gears you can obviously improve your character even more and make them more powerful. So make sure you do at least 3 million so that you can get this one as well. But obviously the higher you go, the better the rewards. And yeah, if you can go to the S, then that would be pretty sure the best one for now, and that's like 9 million damage, or even if you can do 10 million. So the higher, obviously the better. If you can do 11, anything like higher than 11 million, then it's going to be the same. It's just on the ranking that will change. So yeah, let's see how it goes. So try your best to do this 3 times a day, and if you don't like your run, just skip and then do it again with different characters, because you can only do it 3 times. Now the most important things that we want to talk about in the raid is, first of all, both bosses are blue, and even though this is an attack one, I mean, he attacks a little bit higher than the defender one, but still it's nothing crazy, so you might not need a defender or anything. And then the first one is a defender, it doesn't attack like high that much. That's why go with like your best attackers, your debuffers and supporters, so that you can deal as much damage as you can. Now we do have a bonus here with Julius. If you have him, he's going to get 50% damage increase. That's why make sure to use your Wizard King. Now the most important thing about the raid is actually the buffs that we have over here for different waves and different turns. So you want to get the most out of the buffs and details that we have over here, so that you can deal as much damage as you can. So I translated all of them and I have it on my Discord server over here under the Black Clover mobile channel. I'll put the link in the description. If you're not in the Discord server, join as soon as you can. So I wrote everything here. I put like the updates in the BCM channel and talk about different stuff. So raid is on. Julius has 50% increased damage dealt buff, as we talked. The boss is immune to stun, so you can stun him, and gives shock to you when you attack him. Also will remove shield with his first skill. So if depending on which skill he uses, he will also be able to remove shield. That's why I'm saying, like, maybe it's not the best idea to go all the way with your defender units, and because the boss doesn't attack that much, like doesn't have high damage. Now before we talk about the waves, I'm gonna show you over here. So there's this ranking, like 25 million the first person. I did the first run with 7 million, and I was just testing out different teams, so don't look at this. Obviously we'll go higher tomorrow, but I don't have anything to do now. I can't do more than 3, but some of the teams are shown, some of them are not, some are shown, and you can also check them out and get an idea over here that, okay, which one's the best and how we can use it, and based on your characters as well. I wish I had Sally. She would be great with your Wizard King or any other magic attack users. That's why she, like this guy or this person, is using it over here. And obviously kind of like Vengeance as a supporter for your regular attackers like Yummy and also Jack. So these 2 characters will be the best supporters. If you have them, build them up so that you can use them. They are great in this event, the raid, and that's mainly where you're gonna use them to deal like as high as you can. But I don't have either of them, so that's why I'm going like just all attack with some debuffer, so that I can reduce the enemy's defense and then deal more damage. But the more buff you get, obviously that will help as well. So you can get an idea over here with different teams with your characters, but as I mentioned, you want to go full attack plus either a supporter or a debuffer. So you can also go both of them, like a debuffer and also a supporter, but you want to attack as much as you can, because enemy can't attack you with high numbers. That's why you don't need to have like other defenders, or it's best to have like 3 attackers, as you can see here, 3 attackers and 1 debuffer. Over here 1 supporter. Well, we have a debuffer over here. You can also do something like this with 2 of the support and a debuffer, and then also 2 attackers. So you want to have at least 2 attackers. If you want, you can go 3, and then with 1 supporter or 1 debuffer, then you can, you know, deal damage as much as you can. Now we'll talk about the waves. So turn 8 and 7 for the first wave. Obviously the first 2 turns you're gonna gain 4 SP, so you can do 2 ults here. Depending on your character, if they have better ults, make sure you perform the ult so that you can do it 1 more time. Since you're gonna get 4 SPs, you can do 2 ults in these 2 turns. And then turn 6 and 5, attack and deal dot damage on the enemy. So supporters won't attack some of the times because they're gonna buff your character, and then you're not gonna get the dot damage on the enemy. That's why make sure you test it out. If you need to, I mean, obviously if you support your character, you buff up your character and then deal damage, that's going to be higher. But if you don't have a supporter, then a debuffer or an attacker, just attack the enemy as much as you can so you can deal more dot damage. Also, like turn 4 and 3, if you crit, you're gonna deal again dot damage. So if you have characters that can do crit, obviously you're gonna deal more damage with the crit, and then an additional dot damage on them as well. And then turn 2 and 1, like the last 2 turns for wave 1, for each buff your character has, deal 15% more damage. So you have your DPS all buffed up. That's why I'm saying if you have a supporter like Sully for your magic attackers, or Vengeance for your attackers, then that would be best. Even Finral, like anyone that can support your attackers, buff them up, give them magic attack up, increase damage dealt, you know, increase crit rate, crit damage, all those kind of stuff. Make sure you save like their skills over here and just attack the enemy, and then turn 2 and 1, or like just before the turn starts, buff up your characters so that your main DPS, so that you can deal more damage based on each buff that you have. And then the second wave, turn 8 and 7, when you have damage reduction either with their own skills, so the higher their damage reduction is based on their stats, or even with the talents, you can also increase that. Focused attack debuff will be inflicted on the enemy and your attacks will be crits. So the focus attack debuff, you can also have this with the second skill of Lotus if you have his skill page. So if you have Lotus skill page, the second skill will extend the debuff on the enemy and will also apply the focused attack or concentrated attack on the enemy. And if the enemy has that, your attacks will guaranteed to be crit. Now over here, if you have the damage reduction activated, so it depends on your characters, the higher damage reduction they have, obviously the higher chance to get this activated when the enemy attacks you, and then they will gain a focus attack debuff so you can deal crit. So if you see that sign, the focus attack debuff, let me see if I can find it. Alright, here it actually looks something like this, like the first one, as you can see here. Sorry for the quality, I just had to take a screenshot. So this, the first one, if you see this on the enemy, it means that this is the focus attack debuff, and all your hits will be crit. So make sure you attack obviously with your highest skill, and then you're gonna deal crit on the enemy. So this is the focus attack debuff. Now we go to turn 6 and 5, and using skill 1, damage dealt will increase. So any kind of skill 1 attack that you have, obviously use it so that you can deal the most damage. It's up to 100%. That's why skill 1 will be super powerful over here. And then turn 4, 3, 2, 1 is just attack. When you attack, enemy gets increased damage taken by 10%. And then over here, when you attack, increase your damage dealt by 100%. So you want to consider either buffing up your character, your supporter, or just attacking attacking them. I mean, over here, yes, the increased damage taken is 10%. If you buff up your character, it's going to be more than 10%. But then over here, when you attack, increase your damage dealt by 100%. So based on your supporter, how much attack they have, you want to either attack the opponent if you have high attack, or just buff up your main DPS to deal the most damage. That's why the last 4 turns you want to just attack as much as you can, have all the debuffs on the enemy, have all the buffs on yourself, do your ult if it's like the highest damage you can deal, or just use other skills, and that way obviously you can deal the most damage that you can. And obviously it depends on your characters as well, the level of your characters, their talents, their gears, their dupes, their skills. So make sure you get as much as you can. I mean, even if you just you need to just go like, where's the rewards, you need to just go over here, so 11 million, and then you'll get the max reward. So if you don't want to build up all your characters super high because of the resources, at least build them up as much that you can deal 11 million at least, so that you can get all the rewards. Do this 3 times a day, entire week, and then you can get all the items needed for star gears to max and level up your characters even more. So end of the week, we're gonna have, all of us, we're gonna have more powerful team, and build them easier with the star gears. And yeah, that's all for today. If I can, I'll do a run tomorrow because I already used all my 3 chances for today. But yeah, let me know how it goes. Hope this video was helpful. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Till next time, have fun and stay tuned.